Alright, here's my 2007 Chevy Impala. I want to show you the wonderful power steering pump that it has. I think I'm having a power steering issue. So, normally it's supposed not to even make a sound whenever, like, well, except for the engine obviously, but today it's decided to make a different sound. So, let's listen to it. You hear that whine? It's the power steering. Let me kill my Bluetooth here real quick. It's probably not on. Get the mute button ready. There we go. So do you hear that whine? I don't know how well it's audible, but I know it's power steering because every time I turn my wheel, it changes. The pitch pretty much goes to a lower. So obviously, upon turning a wheel, you can hear that. That's power steering. Now, a few things that could be wrong with it. It's probably low on fluid. I'm going to add some fluid in a little while and see what the hell's up with that. But right now, I'm more focused on just getting to the brunt of the sound. I made the sound a while back. I added fluid to it, and it was fine. But I don't think I added enough. So, give or take, in a little while, I'm going to add fluid. That's it for now. So, coinciding, checking the transmission, or not the transmission, but the power steering. Find the G spot for the car, obviously. It's a dirty joke. I'll never repeat that if you're younger. See, there it is right there. That's your hood release latch. You pull it. Just a side note, when releasing the hood, move it to the left and that releases it. So, if you ever have an Impala want to get under the hood, do that. Second of all, power steering fluid is located right there. All you got to do is twist. Doesn't even tight. It doesn't even screw on. It twists. Obviously, checking the fluid involves wiping the dipstick and popping it back in. So, what I'm going to do is right below the add line. So, obviously, not enough to go around for anything hardly. Just right below it. We'll double check that, obviously. I should be doing this on level ground, but I'm not. Obviously, excuse me. I'm trying to obviously just diagnose it at this point. But yeah, it was right on the add line, so we're gonna set this. See, there it is right there. Essentially, I'm gonna go over there at this point. Grab our funnel and our transmission fluid, or power steering fluid. This is you can get any kind of work. Doesn't matter. Just get some brand that will set you in a good position. Alright, I'm going to take the cap off here. I'm going to let my camera hang, so I apologize for you having to stare at my crotch. Don't worry, that won't last for long until I get the cap off of the transmission, or the, I don't know if people call it transmission fluid, I'll never know. But obviously, insert your funnel into the nozzle. And don't add over the fill line, but get a good bit in there. I wouldn't say necessarily over the fill line, but obviously this is a nightmare for me because obviously I'm having to hold the camera. I'm going to do this with my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand. So obviously go in it, at it. Oh shit, something got on the engine. Alright, let's try that. We'll see what happens. We'll add just a tad bit more. Like I said, you don't want to go over the fill line, but you also don't want to go under the fill line as well. So, grab the cap, and I'd taken off of the said. There it is. Obviously, screw that back on. It's hard to do, but someone's got to do it. So, pop the cap back on, the fluid obviously, to keep for later. Now remember, just take note of the sound that I made, that the car was making of the time of before placing the fluid within the vehicle. Obviously wipe off any spills, God forbid that get anywhere on your engine, various engine components. That shit can be flammable. I'm going to set that there for the time being. Shouldn't be littering, but I'm not, because I'm going to pick it up. Kind of match it up with the grooves, essentially. Engine is warm, so obviously use caution and don't burn your hand on parts. But just tighten it back on, essentially. Pop it off. Obviously it's dripping, so we got plenty in there. It's a little above the fill line, but not by much. It's kind of where you want it. Obviously, essentially. And just tighten it back on. It's a lot better than what we had. Alright. Cap is on securely where it will not pop off. And thanks for the help of remote start, we won't even have to stick our key in the ignition. So, testing it out, making sure any abnormal sounds will not come from under the hood. Obviously. There. Problem solved. Obviously, a little bit later, I'm going to check for any leaks around the area of where the power steering fluid went in. So, I have essentially fixed that. So, there's either not enough in the power steering, but it is still making some form of noise. So, either it needs to be bled or the pump's gone bad. So, I'm definitely going to have this serviced eventually, but as long as it's not dying on me, causing any problems,